all money that comes into your life that's not your paycheck, okay? I misspoke myself on the first video when I said which is not a part of your income. What I meant to say was it's not a part of your paycheck. Your paycheck, I'm just going to assume, is maxed out, okay? You can't do anything different from what you have been doing on your paycheck because you don't have any excess, okay? The reason why you're in debt is because your paycheck wasn't enough anyhow, right? So what you're going to do with the 60-40 principle is I'm going to teach you what the 60-40 principle is, and then I'm going to then tell you how you can go about implementing it if you choose. You don't have to do this, but supposedly you want to get out of debt. So I'm just going to make the assumption that you do want to practice this principle. Okay, so you have your little piece of paper and you've got your 5-pointed star up there. The 60-40 principle is just a way of dividing up money that comes to you that's not your paycheck, okay? This means birthday money, bonuses from work, refunds from whatever rebate you might have had, your tax refund, whatever money that comes to you that is not your paycheck, you're going to do the 60-40 principle with that, okay? And I guarantee you that in a 3-month period of time, you're going to be able to see a significant increase in your savings account, right? So at the very top, put the 60% up there, and that is 60% of that money that comes to you that is not your paycheck percent is going to go into your checking account, okay? All right. Then you just put 10% on all the other arms. 10% is going to be what we call long-term savings. 10% is going to be short-term savings. How it's working out? Oops, sorry. There you go. Then 10% will go to tithing, and I'll explain that in just a minute. And then 10% will go to philanthropy. The 60-40 rule. 60% goes to living, 10% goes to long-term savings, 10% goes to short-term savings, 10% goes to tithing, 10% goes to philanthropy. That's the 60-40 principle. All right. Let's explain a few things first. Long-term savings goes by a lot of names. Goes by 401k plans, IRAs. Most of my clients that I get tell me they have $25 in a savings account. They might have a 401k, maybe not. Don't even ask them about an IRA. They haven't even started an IRA account. The long-term savings is the money that you're going to need when you can no longer work. All right? So if you're going to do the 60-40 principle, you have to make sure that you never take money out of your long-term savings account. You are not going to touch your long-term savings account for any reason ever until you turn 65 and it's time for you to pull it out of your IRA or 401k plan, okay? The long-term savings account is that pay it forward. You've heard that term, pay it forward, pay it forward. That money is to take care of you when you can no longer work for a living, all right? So you don't want to be messing with that money. You don't want to be playing with it. All right, and the short-term savings account money, that's your easily accessible money savings account that you have maybe at your local bank or in a money market fund. Short-term savings is what you use. That's your rainy day money, okay? Because every month, and I've tracked my expenses for the last 15 years, and every month there is some unexpected expense that comes up, something that wasn't planned, something that wasn't in the budget. And so what you need to do is put that money, put that 10% in that savings account for those unexpected expenses. And that short-term savings account will keep you from using your credit card to pay it off, okay? All right, so what's the next one? Next one is tithing. 10% of your money needs to go to tithing. Now, not everybody belongs to a church. Not everybody has a religious affiliation. Well, that's fine. For those people, for those clients that I have that do belong to a church or religious affiliation, 10% of your money needs to go to that spiritual practice. So for most Christians, we call it, people call it tithing. For Hindus, I believe it's called heart gifts. For my Jewish friends, I believe it's temple dues. Every organization kind of has their own terms. If you don't belong to a spiritual organization, don't worry, that 10% still has to be given away. If you don't belong to a religious organization, 20% of your money that's coming in from sources other than your paycheck will then go into the philanthropic arm. What is philanthropy? I didn't use the word charity. charity can sometimes get confusing. A charity, it can be you give of your time, or you give products, like you may go out and buy a bunch of clothes or dog food or personal care products for a homeless shelter. You buy the dog food for the animal shelter. That's charity, okay? When you focus on only giving money away, that's philanthropy. And I want you to start considering yourself a philanthropist right now. It's very important that you understand that if you want to live in abundance, you must give money to get money. But you give away what you most need or what you most want. And so if you're terrified that you're going to starve to death, you give away a lot of food, because what goes around comes around. It's cyclical, right? Like begets like. Some people call it the law of attraction. What you probably want, if you're listening to this video, is you want to pay down your debt. So you want money coming into your life. So what do you have to do? You kind of have to prime the pump. You have to give money away. So here you go. The 60-40 principle. Da, da, da. How do we kickstart this thing? How do you initiate it? Simple. Almost everyone I have mentored, and that's about almost 1,100 people now, 1,100 families. I've only had one family that didn't have this. But everybody else I've mentored has. You have a stash of money somewhere. It's either a piggy bank, or it's a coin jar, or you have a stash of cash somewhere. What I want you to do is I want you to go to that place, take all that money, count it up, get out your calculator, and divide that money up 60-40. And what you're going to do is you're going to take 60% of the money that's in that coin jar, and you're going to put it in your checking account. And that's going to help start initiating the process of paying down your credit card. Then you're going to take 10% and put it in your long-term savings account. So if you already have a 401k plan or an IRA, I want you to donate it there. If you don't have that, then you're going to go get two checking accounts at your local, two savings accounts at your local bank. And one of your savings accounts is going to be labeled long-term savings. That's the money you're not going to touch till you're 65. And then another savings account is going to be short-term savings. So 10% in each of those. Take 10% and tithe it or give it to your church, and then 10% you're going to give away to a charity or a philanthropic organization of your choice, preferably a 501c3. A 501c3 is just the tax code that's used by organizations. You can go up on the web and see which ones are appropriate, but donate to a cause that you're very passionate about, that you have really strong feelings about, and that'll work out best for your money flow. If you don't belong to a religious organization or spiritual organization, then you give 20% of your money to a philanthropic organization of your choice. Okay? So if you have any questions, you can email me. My website is www.smartsenseinc.com. I've written a few books on the topic. You can look those up if you wish. And I wish you the best of luck. So you get yourself your coin jar or whatever, divide it up into 60-40, and send that out. And most of my clients, I've only had 2 families that this didn't work. Most of my clients, within 48 to 72 hours, money will come into their life. Sometimes I've coached young people that were only 12 years old, and they only had $4.36 to their name, and they've done this 60-40 principle, and within 48 hours, money came into their life. One of my students actually had a $20 bill rolling toward him in the Walmart parking lot of all places. So I don't know how money is going to come to you. I do know that I've had enough experience, I've been doing this long enough, that usually the time frame is anywhere from 48 to 72 hours after you initiate the 60-40 principle. Money will come into your life. What you're going to do from now on is that every time money comes into your life that is not your paycheck, you're going to divide it up as 60-40, and that'll get the cash flow going in your life. And that 60% that's coming to you from other areas than your paycheck, that 60%, pay down your credit card with it. And of course, this goes without saying, I know, but I'm going to say it anyway. Stop using your credit cards. Start saving money and use that short-term savings account for those unplanned expenses that come into your life. Okay, good luck, and I wish you much abundance.